My name is Ben Walker. In August of 2003, I had a cold or flu or something like that, and I walked into the walk-in clinic out in Sun City West to find out what was going around. They said nothing that they could tell me, but they wanted to take my blood to see what was bothering me. They took my blood, it was okay. Then they wanted to do an EKG, which was fine. Then the doc came in and he said, well, just to be on the safe side, we should do x-rays. So they took me over to the main clinic, did x-rays, and put me in bed, and I laid there for about 4 hours, and finally they came in, and the doc says, gee, I'm sorry to tell you this, we can't find out what's wrong with you. We want to keep you in the hospital for a few more days and do testing. Well, because I was working, I had to say no, and I signed myself out. But the doc said, before you go, we want you to take certain prescription drugs. And so, since I'd never taken a drug before in my life, I said, fine, no problem. And so they wrote up several statin drugs for me and said, check with your other doctor and see if he agrees. And I went to him the next morning, he agreed, and so I started taking these drugs. And this is in August of 2003. In just a matter of, less than a month, I got so I couldn't hardly walk, couldn't hardly drive, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. And my son and my niece and nephew both talked me into, and my doctor out there talked me into going back into the hospital for testing. They thought I could have some sort of a heart problem or something like that. And so anyway, they kept me in the hospital for over a month. They wanted to do a bypass. I refused. They tested me every day, and after a month, I just kept getting weaker and weaker, and they couldn't find out what was wrong with me. Finally, the doc came in and said, well, we're sending you home. I'm sorry to tell you this. I've told your son, your next of kin, you probably only have a month to live at the most. And so he set me up with hospice and had people pick me up and took me home. And my son was there with me and my niece and nephew. And this was like on a Thursday or Friday. And on Saturday, I just happened to have the radio on listening to Dr. Bob Martin. And Dr. Bob Martin was covering this same subject. And he said anyone with this problem should contact Envita and see what they might be able to do for you. Which my son did. And fortunately, they were open Saturday afternoon. And I came on in to Envita. I brought all my pills with me. And the people I saw here gave me a story and said, gee, if you just want to live another 3 or 4 weeks, why keep taking these statin drugs? And if you want to live longer, tell me. And I said, of course I want to live longer. He picked up all those statin drugs and he threw them in the trash can. And he showed me a report where statin drugs kill over 200,000 people a year. And in my particular case, I was allergic to statin drugs and they were killing me. So then the doctors here put me on the program, and I took that program for like 2 months, I think it was. And suddenly, within a matter of a month, I was feeling great. I had fully recovered, and I have only one outfit to thank for that, and that is Envita. My name is Ben Walker. This is my story. What is yours?